Hi, today we're going to winterize my trailer here. I know a lot of people are trying to figure out how to do a winterizing correctly. I'm going to show you how to do it. Come from a family-owned business for the last 40 years. I've been a service tech for 20. We've done tens of thousands of winterizings this exact way. First thing we want to do is empty out the low point drains on the water system itself and your freshwater tanks. Freshwater tanks are right here. Typically you're going to have a sticker that's going to tell you there's low point drains. You should probably already know where they're at this point. I've got two tanks on mine. I got two levers. I'm going to turn those, start draining out any residual water that I have in the system. That was the fresh water tanks. What I want to do now is prep the lines to get gravity drain on the regular water system. To do that, I'm going to open up all the faucets, hot and cold, take the pressure off. Water pump obviously shouldn't be on at this time, and your city water hose should be disconnected. Now I'm going to do the bathroom sink as well. As well as the shower. This particular trailer has an outdoor shower. If you have a newer trailer, you probably have one too. You want to open that up. Make sure those valves are open as well. My low point drains are located underneath the sink. They usually are in a Jayco. They're typically under the vanity in the bathroom for a Jayco travel trailer, or sometimes I find them underneath the bunk. Now I'm looking in here and I see that I've got some conditioner, some shampoo. There's nothing else underneath here. If you leave these and you're in a cold enough climate, these are going to freeze. They could burst, ruin the product. Get all that out of your camper. If you have liquid chemical, make sure that you take that out. Get that into a warm environment. Check underneath your kitchen sink, your cupboards, anything that's liquid that could freeze. Remove that from your trailer at this time. The next process is to open up the low point drains. Like I was mentioning, on a Jayco, they're always underneath the vanity, and there's two levers right down here. Here are the two valves on my trailer. One is for cold, one is for hot. I'm going to pull them up. Yours might be a turn valve. They might have a cap on the outside. I'm going to pull those out. They'll gravity feed, and all the water should drain out directly underneath the trailer. These are the low point drains that I just pulled. You'll have your water drain out of here, which it already has. You might have, if you don't have a valve on top, you might have caps right down here or another twist valve. We also need to drain our water heater. On this particular model, we have a 7/8 nylon plug that we need to remove. It's important that we had taken the pressure off the water system, because if we just pull that plug, it'd spray water all over us. So we took the pressure off. We should be good now. I like to help the water come out a little bit quicker by pulling the pop-off valve. I'd like to point out that I put the plug right on top of the gas valve bracket so that I know where it's at next spring when I go to get my trailer ready for camping. Now that that's drained, there's nothing more that I need to do out here except close this up. I want to make sure I put that pop-off valve off. Close her up. I need to bypass the water heater. On this particular model, it's underneath my bunk in the back of the trailers. Yours might be behind the cabinets, directly behind where you just drained your water heater. You might have to unscrew a panel to do that. If you have an older trailer, you might not have a bypass. If you need to put a bypass in, Camco makes a quick turn permanent bypass kit. This is part number 35983. I'll put a link in the comments below so that you can purchase one if you need to add one to your water heater. I hope yours isn't as inconvenient as this one. This is pretty unusual. I've seen worse though. Mine has this convenient access panel. Okay, this particular water heater has a 3-valve system. There's also a 2-valve and a 1-valve. I'll explain the difference in a moment. Let's show you how these bypasses work. This particular water heater has a 3-valve system. When the valve is parallel with the line, that means it's open. When it's perpendicular, it's closed. I want to close the outlet for the hot water, the inlet for the cold water, and then I want to open the bypass so that no antifreeze or water will go through the water heater at this point. There's also a 1-valve and a 2-valve system. A 1-valve system will have a check valve at the hot water outlet so no water can go back into your water heater, and a 2-valve will have a valve that points at each other from this fitting to the lower fitting, and they will be pointing at each other when it is bypassed. Okay, now that we bypassed the water heater, we can close up all of our sinks, the bathroom sink, the shower, and the outside shower. We want to close all the valves. As well as close the low point drains. I picked up this antifreeze at my local hardware store. It's anywhere from $1.99 to $3.99 depending on the season. Typically, your location may vary, but this is what we're going to use. Next, we want to locate our fresh water pump on this particular trailer. It's located under the kitchen sink. On your trailer, it might be located in a different location. If you do not know where it's at, turn on your water pump, listen for it, track it down. Jayco has always put a bypass on their fresh water pump. Your trailer might not have one. If you need to put one on yours, you can also purchase them from Camco. Their part number is 36543. On this particular pump, there are 2 valves. One is to open up the bypass hose that we will be putting into our winterizing jug, and one to shut off the fresh water tank. I'm going to open up the bypass hose. And close the fresh water valve. I'm going to insert the bypass hose into my antifreeze. Then I'm going to turn on the fresh water pump. The reason why the water pump stopped is because you built up pressure with the antifreeze in your water system. I like to go to the farthest fixture in the water system, which happens to be the outside shower. I'm going to open up the cold water, and you're going to get all of the water out of your system in that line until it turns pink. As well as the hot water. At this point, we have half a bottle of antifreeze left. I'm going to take the shower wand. I'm going to put that right down by the drain. Then I'm going to also open up the cold water until I get pink coming out, and the hot water. As well as the bathroom sink. Then we'll open up the kitchen sink. At this point, we're getting pretty low on that first jug. Let's insert the hose into our second one. At this time, if your trailer has an ice maker, dishwasher, washer and dryer, or inline water filter, make sure that you take care of those as well at this point. Now I'm back at the water heater bypass. I want to just burp a little into those lines so that it fills the top and the bottom of antifreeze. First, the cold water inlet, then the hot water. Now that I've opened all the fixtures on this particular trailer, I want to remove the hose from the antifreeze jug. I leave the toilet for last because I want to run air from the water pump and that hose through the valve on the back of the toilet. At this point, turn off your water pump. Now that I took and turned off the pump, I want to take the pressure out of the water lines. At this point, I can open up my city water, remove the screen, and press on the check valve. Every area of this particular trailer has had antifreeze ran through it. There is no need to keep that antifreeze in those lines. All it does is purge the water. At this point, you want to actually drain that antifreeze from the system. And this is how we do that. We're going to open up those low point drains under the bathroom vanity. Now that we have opened up the low point drain, we want to open up all of the kitchen, bathroom, and shower fixtures, as well as the outside shower. As you'll see, the low point drains are gravity draining all of that antifreeze out of your lines. Now after this process, I still have 1/8 of a gallon in this jug, a little bit left in this one. I'm going to turn the bypass valves on this water pump back to where they were. Now I'm going to take those remnants of these jugs and I'm going to put them in the traps of all the sinks and the shower. Don't forget that after you winterize your trailer, all your water lines, you're still going to have some of that water and antifreeze in your holding tanks. Go to your dump station and dump that residual water out of there. That's a complete water winterization with only 2 jugs of antifreeze.